Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sam Beast YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well and thank you very much for joining us today. Before we start, please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you're new around here. We've been growing at an alarmingly quick rate. Very much appreciated. Would love to have you join us on board. As we go through all of our ITAM content, we've got some bangers coming up over the next year. Yes, we have planned for the next year. That is how proactive we are and how much we want to give back to the ITAM community with lots of free amazing content. Speaking of free amazing content, today our focus is all around internal hardware audits, not software, hardware audits. Now these are super easy to do. You don't need any fancy tools to be able to do this. You just need an export from your inventory sources and you can do it all yourself using the world's most used ITAM tool, Excel. You can obviously do this in way more fancy ways using Power BI dashboards, automation, ITAM tools, etc. But if you don't have the luxury of having that, I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way that you can trigger a mass hardware audit to reclaim some of that equipment and to just validate what your asset management database is saying. Now, there's a few things that you can look at here when doing an internal hardware audit. The first one is the obvious one, which is inactivity. So this is hardware that hasn't been used for a set period of time, whatever those parameters are that you've defined within your organization. That could be 30, 60, 90, 120 days of inactivity. It all depends on what your ITAM policy says. The other thing that you can be looking for here also is looking for users with multiple devices. So they've got a MacBook and a Windows laptop, for example, or they've got two Windows laptops, a desktop and a laptop, that kind of thing, to validate why they have that. Because in modern day IT with cloud storage and file sharing and stuff like that, there's not really much justification these days to have two devices unless they're using it for testing, creative stuff, development, etc., where they need a Mac OS and a Windows device. But doing these internal audits is a great way of identifying those users and finding out why they're using two devices of the same asset type. Also a really good way to kind of do a bit of validation on your asset management database as well. You can look at the assigned users within the AIMDB and what your inventory and discovery tools are saying. Again, bearing in mind that your inventory and discovery tools, they may be showing the last user being a tech support person, when actually that's not who you assign the device to. So you can audit that, validate it, go hunt down equipment that seems to be used by someone who you haven't assigned it to. Make sure you understand why, where there was a breakdown in process, why it wasn't returned to IT and just given out to someone else, etc. But for the purpose of this video, let's show you how to conduct an internal hardware audit when looking for assets that have been offline for a certain period of time. Okay, so I have my data set. I've done a bit of homework before this already, simply because I didn't think it'd be worth showing you doing all the spreadsheet work basically. But honestly, this took me no time at all, and I got this random data set from ChatGPT, believe it or not. Gave them some parameters on the models, the serial number, kind of, I just wanted it X amount of digits, first name, last name, random email address, random location, and a last discovered date that's randomized between a certain period. Now, if I go into the main export that we got, I think we got over 300 rows, but this is pretty much, you're going to have a lot of other noise when you do your exports from your inventory and discovery tools. But for the purpose of this audit and to show you what we're doing, this is really the data sets that you really need. So first things first, over here we can see the models that we've got out there. We've got a mixture of Lenovo's and Apple devices, mixture of Lenovo models and Apple models as well. We've got our serial number, which is our unique identifier. You can also have your asset tag or your host name information on here as well. That's really useful when doing these audits. First name, last name of the person that was last seen with the device, the email address, their location, and also the last discovered date, when it was last online, basically. Before we do anything, I want to go through and validate those that have been inactive for a certain period of time. Obviously, check your asset management database as well to see what the state is within your AIMDB. Some of these may already be retired, they may be in stock, they may be missing, lost, stolen, etc. But for the purpose of this, let's just say that these are all in use and our AIMDB is horrendously outdated, or these users have been hoarding onto equipment. So the first thing that I've done is I've filtered on the last discovered date and I've looked for my 2024 target. So these devices have not been online since 2024. The last discovery date is way back when. Now, you're probably thinking, oh no, there's 122 devices that I need to go and chase and hunt down. But there's a much quicker way that you can do this. You don't have to go through, do a manual email to each user, or just put everyone on BCC and just send out a generic email. What you can do is a mail merge. I'm going to go over to my Word document here, and now we're going to create the parameters for our mail merge. So what we are going to do now over in Word is we are going to create our text that's going to be basically the body of the email that we're going to send to all of those users in a really quick space of time. So let me quickly do that. I'll do the text, I'll run through with you why I've done what I've done, and then we'll actually do the mail merge and show you how easy it is to do these internal audits. Okay, so we have done our text template, and what I've done here, I've left an empty space at the top for a greeting line because we can do that using the mail merge. But basically the context is we are currently conducting an internal hardware audit looking at laptops and Macs that have been offline for 30 plus days. Our discovery sources show that you are the last known user for a device that's been offline for more than 30 plus days, but is still assigned to you. Device information can be found below, and we've got model, serial number, and last discovered. We'll show you how to populate those in a second. Please can you confirm if you are still in possession of this asset and if it is still required for your role? If yes, it is still required, please ensure you turn this device on every 30 plus days and provide an explanation as to why it's been offline for so long. Trying to gather a bit of intelligence here as well so that you as the ITAM team can make an informed decision as to whether that device really is actually still needed. If it's been offline for that period of time, there may actually be an issue with the inventory tool that's picking it up. Again, it's more intelligence for you to go to your tech teams and say, guys, can you have a look at this one, please? This one is online but isn't reporting in. We've got a problem there. Or they come back to you and say, I only use it for certain projects. I haven't had a project in a while. Then maybe you've got justification to try and reclaim that device and put it back into stock and reuse it. It's just going to be sat there depreciating, being unused, being ineffective. Just get it back if they're not using it very frequently. If they're not using it anymore, please return it to your local IT teams and confirm this has been returned. Naturally, as the ITAM person, you're also going to be checking your AMDB and talking with your local IT teams to ensure that this device is returned. Many thanks, IT Asset Management. Really simple, easy, took me literally a matter of minutes. You can screen grab this, use this within your organization if you want. Concise, gives all the information that they need. And now we're actually going to start looking at doing the mail merge. So I'm just going to show you how we can do that. There's a bit of a big gap up there. Now, in Word, go over to mailings, start merge. Now we're going to do email messages. Now we're going to select recipients. We're going to use an existing list, and we are going to go to where we saved our Excel document that we did. Okay, so we've gone through and found our file that we saved previously, which is the Excel spreadsheet. I've got two workbooks in there. We've got the 2024 target, sorry, and sheet 1. We want the 2024 target only. Click OK there. Okay, so we have selected our spreadsheet that we're using for this, that we pre-populated already. I'm just going to put a hi at the beginning so that we don't get things confused. Insert merged field. So first of all, we're going to be hi first name, make it nice and friendly. Going to put a comma after that one. Now, we're going to go down here to model. I don't want this to be bold, so I'm going to unbold that. Insert merged field, and over here we're going to go to model. On serial number, same, don't want that one to be bold. I'm going to insert merged field of serial number. And finally, last discovered date, insert merged field, last discovered date. Now, this is what it should look like. Don't worry about the dashes and first name, last name and stuff like that. But what you can do now is preview the results. So we're going to hit preview final document, and there you can see all of the different users, their model, their serial number, and the last discovered date that's populated to them. And if you can go through, you can test all of them if you want. You can go all the way to the end, see them all, and yeah, brilliant. That is looking like a proper email that's literally taken me a matter of minutes compared to having to copy and paste that to each individual person, or having an email that they're on BCC that's just generic and doesn't actually relate to the asset that they physically have. So really easy, really simple. Next thing I'm going to do here, I'm happy with the content. Maybe I'm going to actually remove a space there. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep that space actually. Happy with the content, like the way it looks, happy with the format. Let me just zoom in so you can take a screen grab if you wanted to use this again yourself in the future. Just go back to the untoggle. That's what you can see, the parameters that we've set. Hi, first name. That's why it's important in your spreadsheet to have first name and last name so that you can do a nice greeting. We've got the model, we've got the serial number and last discovered. You can see the different, the marrying up of the merged fields in there. On Windows as well, you can actually create your own greetings using the mail merge itself. But on this one, for example, we've just got the hi ourself and then the first name in there. If yes, still required, return it back. I mean, there's all sorts of rules that you can create in here as well on the mail merge itself. But let's just keep it simple. Let's just get this audit out there. Let's get people understanding what we're doing, why we're doing it, and also try and recover some of that equipment. So back to just one last check on the previewed stuff. Yeah, it's looking good, and I'm sure you've got way more fancy ways you can do this, but if you just want to do a quick and easy audit on your hardware estate, this is a really good option, and you've not got loads of fancy tools. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Now, what we should be doing, but because I'm not actually going to send this email out, is you go over to Finish and Merge, and you're going to click on Finish and Merge. Come on, you're going to do Merge to Email. Now, what that'll do is bring up a box where you're going to create the header and the main subject for the email. I'll put it down here as I'm not actually going to do this because these are all fake email addresses. The heading or the subject I'll put here. So I do action required, make it clear and obvious. Oh, have I spelled required wrong? Internal hardware audit. Actually, I'm going to put inactive internal hardware audit. So that's going to be our subject. And when you go over here to finish and merge, you put that in the subject, obviously without the word subject there. You start it with action required, so it's clear and obvious that you're expecting them to do something. They're going to have to reply to you. They're going to bring the equipment back, or they're going to turn it on and let you know that they do still need the asset. So yeah, once you've done all that, you won't put this in the mail merge. I'm just showing you here because I'm not actually going to send it out because they're fake email addresses. Click on merge to email, put that in the subject, make the format HTML or whatever email format that you want, and press send or go. This will then literally send out the hundreds of emails, 122 that we've got in here. This will send that all out one by one in a matter of seconds. You'll go into your inbox, go into the sent folder, and you will see all of these individual emails to all of these users. And within it'll probably take you 10 minutes to actually do the audit. The tough bit is to getting all the data, making sure that that's right, filtering it out, making sure that you've got the first name, last name, and an email address. That might be the challenging bit if your inventory tool doesn't have this by default. But once you've got this data into a nice, clean format like this bit takes literally a matter of minutes. Get your email template. Once you've done it once, you can just literally reuse this again and again every time you're doing your inactive audits. If you've got one for software already that you're manually emailing, save this as a template document, use it every time you do it. It will take even less time. As long as you've got the merge fields, as long as you've got your recipient list sorted out as well, it will literally take you a matter of minutes to do an audit for over 100 plus people. What you will find is a tricky point is if you have a limit on the number of emails that you can send at any one time. Like, for example, some of them have a recipient, buffer of 499, 500 users. This is a great way of getting around that because you're not sending it in bulk. You're sending it individually. So you could literally do this mail merge audit if you had over 1,000 users that are, inactive with inactive assets. You shouldn't have 1,000 users with inactive assets. But if you did, you could certainly do that. You can also do this for your user verification audits, users with multiple devices of the same type, validating your asset management database. There is a whole world on what you can be doing for this one, but I just wanted to give you an example on how you can use this really quickly, really effectively, really simply with no fancy tools to start doing your internal hardware audits using a mail merge. So that's it. It's so easy, it's so simple, but it's so effective. Sometimes the most effective things are actually the easiest and simplest things to do. You can also use this concept for software audits, and we'll show you how to do that in another video. But yeah, please feel free to go back, watch this video, screen grab the template that I've done, screen grab the data sets. You can add in more data sets if you want that. Add more merged fields into your email and your Microsoft Word template that you're using for the mail merge. The world is your oyster. You can configure this to however you want. You can mature this as well, automate it using Power BI dashboards. You can use macros in Excel. There's all sorts of things you can do. Automated reports from your inventory tools. You can automate this whole process once you start maturing it. But this is a really good way that you can optimize and audit your hardware assets within your organization, but also moving forward, you can also validate your asset management database compared to what your inventory sources are doing and contact users to help with that validation. One of my favorite things to do are internal audits. Basically, I like to recover stuff. I like to recover inactive assets, give them out to a new request, save a bit of money on buying new hardware, and really optimizing the equipment that we do have. Hopefully you're the same. Really hope you found this useful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you back here next week for another ITAM video. But until then, happy ITAMing.